And most importantly, I want to thank all of the media for your cooperation. Right from the onset, when she was reported as a missing person, you were very helpful in getting her photograph out and letting the community know that we were looking for her. And so I really just want to take this opportunity at the get-go to thank all of you for your cooperation. And then as we move forward, the limited amount of information that I share with you is simply because it is still an ongoing investigation, and in advance I appreciate that you understand how sensitive our position is at this time and that you'll work with us. My promise to you moving forward is as information can be released, we'll be very transparent with it, but right now the information is very limited. I believe that most of you have been briefed on where we are at in the investigation, and in summary, I think most of you know that on February 16th, Ms. Aguilar was reported missing to the San Jose Police Department. After that, we got some information that she was seen at a party here in Hayward. Excuse me. And following that, we followed up on leads, and eventually we changed our investigation from a missing person investigation to a murder investigation. She was found, her body was found deceased over the weekend, and right now we are still processing a great deal of evidence at this time. What I'd like to do is open it up to your questions about the case, and I will answer anything that I can. And as I said before, if there's anything that I can't answer, as that information becomes available, we will share it with you.
Can you talk about
you process this as
yeah, I just need one at a time. You're first.
You consider this a homicide before the body was found. What led you to believe it was a homicide before her body was found?
We found evidence that indicated that it was something more than a missing person. There was a question.
Can you talk a little bit about the gunshot wounds that the news release talks about, and talk a little bit about this person of interest in custody?
So regarding the gunshot wounds, the body was found with gunshot wounds. So there's an autopsy that's going on. So I can't provide any further information, not because I won't, but because I simply can't. That's not completed. We do have a person of interest in custody. We cannot release the name of the person until charges are actually brought with the district attorney. Once that happens, we'll provide you immediately with an update once that's happened.
Can you talk about
your
related charge?
Talk about that.
The body was found in the Morrison Canyon area in Fremont. We worked closely with the Fremont Police Department, and they assisted us by processing the crime scene.
Can you talk about the unrelated charge?
Go ahead.
Who discovered the body? Was a Fremont resident in the area of Morrison Canyon?
No, the Hayward Police Department discovered the body. We had a search team out this weekend.
In the canyon?
That's correct.
Could you explain the primary reason for considering the canyon as a place to look?
I can't. That part is still under investigation.
Thanks.
This person of interest, do you know if he knew the victim?
I can't discuss that right now.
Can you rule out the boyfriend as a suspect?
I'm not going to discuss anything about the person of interest in custody.
Can you tell us if you interviewed Stacy's boyfriend, and if so, what day that was?
We did interview the boyfriend along with a multitude of other people. That investigation, all those interviews were taking place all of last week and right through this weekend, right up and through today.
Can you tell us?
In the back.
The family said you asked them not to search the shirt.
No, that's not true. No, we did not ask the family not to search. Go ahead.
Did anything from the interview lead you to this area where you found the body?
I'm not going to discuss any details. It's still really sensitive, and just to iterate with all of you, what we want to make sure is that we keep the investigation very clean. But I do want to say this to the community, this is essential. The people in this community can sleep at night not being worried that there's a murder out on the loose. We're very confident moving forward that this person of interest is the right person, and I really appreciate you understanding that right now it's so preliminary that we just can't put the investigation in any peril at all.
In terms of the investigation, has it been completed and handed to the DA yet for charging, or will that take a few more days to play out?
It's going to take a few more days to play out, so we have not taken it to the DA yet.
Can you talk about this person of interest, though you can't get into it? Can you talk about the unrelated charge that they were already in the cell for, or how long they've been there? And do you expect to have any other arrests in addition to this person?
So the answer to your first question is no. I'm not going to say. it's important for us to just to keep that under wraps until the person is actually charged, because it's not about us making a circle and you guys running out and trying to figure out who this person is. I'm confident that moving forward, hopefully sooner rather than later, we'll be able to provide you with a name, a photograph, and suspect information. The second part of your question?
Was, do you expect that there could be subsequent arrests that whoever he or she is, they might have been working with somebody, and do you expect subsequent arrests?
So right now, we're exploring all options, and that's why we're being rather close-lipped about it all, it's really undetermined at this time if there's other people involved in the crime. Yes.
I heard you talk about a canyon. Can you talk about the energy, the effort, and the resources put into helping locate the body?
Yes, so this is an opportunity for me to thank the Hayward Police Department detectives, specifically our Criminal Investigations and Special Investigations Bureau. They worked very closely to put together, literally, they were up for days and nights all last week. Most of my detectives have not had a full night's sleep since the interviews began, after we got information that there was a party in Hayward. So there's been a tremendous amount of collaboration and teamwork, not just with the police department, but also with the district attorney's office. In addition, our usual resources through search and rescue, the sheriff's office, the Fremont Police Department, everybody's been exceptionally helpful. It's been a really incredible partnership. We're really used to having that partnership with other allied agencies, but really the work, the passion and the intensity that's gone on, I think it's a tribute to how we found her, and I really want to express personally and on behalf of all of the personnel here in the police department to the family of our victim how incredibly sorry we are for their loss. We all watch TV, right? And we see how crimes are solved in less than 60 minutes. That's not reality. It is painstaking to collect all of the evidence, to put it to a lab, to have all of that processed. And in return, you've got family members that are asking hard questions, and we want to answer those. But because the investigation is unfolding, we're very careful. We were able to, internally, we have our Youth Family Services Bureau here. We have 8 full-time counselors, and we wrapped our counseling services around the family over the weekend and have been providing them with support. They are in an incredibly difficult position, and so we have a lot of empathy and compassion for the family.
In talking to her mother in Mexico, she had mentioned that she's obviously very concerned about this boyfriend who was last seen with her on last Saturday or Sunday morning. She's got questions about domestic violence charges that he may have been charged against. Is there anything that you can answer about him, and if he had been questioned and released, and if he is possibly being monitored at this point?
The boyfriend was arrested for domestic violence, and he is one of the persons that was questioned, and that's all I can provide to you at this time.
Some of the neighbors at that house had described this as...
I'm going to take 2 more questions, and I'm going to take them from people that have not asked a question. Yes, sir.
So you know her last known location. You know where you discovered her body. Can you tell us where you believe the actual murder scene was?
We believe that the crime took place here in Hayward.
Okay. And then transported then presumably to Fremont.
That is correct. We do not believe that the crime took place in Fremont. We believe that it took place here in Hayward.
Do you guys have a murder weapon?
And I'm going to take one last question from the gentleman back there.
Was there any police activity at the party? Just were there any calls or complaints about that party specifically that brought any police attention to that area before the case was considered a homicide? Anything to indicate that?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Is there a murder weapon?
I appreciate that.
Their neighbors were saying that they actually called the police 9 times. There's actually people at that news conference.
And the Spanish-speaking press information officer will stand by for any further questions.
Chief,
thank you very much.
Chief, there's neighbors who say they called Hayward PD 9 times.
Thank you.
I can talk to you more.
I'm all done answering questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Sergeant Ruben Pola is available for Spanish-speaking statements. Where is Ruben at? Okay. I'm not going to get flooded by a bunch of questions. We just did the press conference.
Can we follow up?